Hello, Dylan Langei, branch manager and home loan officer at Evergreen Home Loans. Hey, if you're watching this, most likely you're about to fill out an application or you're just curious about the home buying process, what it takes to get approved, what Evergreen has to offer, kind of my communication style as a loan officer, how that's going to look, and how I'm involved in the process. So you're in the right place. Here is the home loan guide with my information. That is my cell phone number. There's no reason giving you my office line number because it goes to my cell phone. Call me, text me anytime. My email is there as well. And then right here is the link to my personal website, which I'll show you a few different items on there that may be super useful to you throughout this process. The next page I just kind of shrink it down to four goals. My four main goals are to educate you, eliminate your stress, close your loan, and manage your mortgage, right? I want you to be a very educated buyer so that you know all of your options, you know how the process is going to move through, each step and what that's going to look like, what to expect next, what to expect in the pre-approval process once we go under contract, and then post-closing. I also want to eliminate your stress. This is a very stressful process. I personally have purchased multiple homes in my lifetime. And even though I'm in the business, it's a very emotional and stressful process for even someone like me that's in the business. So I want to eliminate that stress. I want to eliminate the stress on the financing side. And really that comes from number one, by educating you on the process and also communicating to you throughout the process. I want to close your loan because that's important to get a mortgage and buy a house. Unless you're a cash buyer, you need a mortgage. And then managing your mortgage. I'll talk a little bit about that, how I manage your mortgage, communicate with you post closing, and kind of your direct contact to me. So, service and online reviews are super, super. It's a big integral piece of my business, and I see some other professionals in the industry that don't really focus on this, and it baffles me a little bit because I don't know about you, but whenever I travel, I'm looking at hotels, or even somebody recommends a restaurant to me, or hey, gosh, I need a good chiropractor, or a doctor. What do? Right? You always look up the online reviews. So when you're spending several hundreds of thousands of dollars and you're trusting someone to secure your financing for that, why wouldn't you? Thank you for that car. Anyway, why would you not look up a mortgage professional and see, what their level of service is, see, what other people have thought of them. So that's why I include this. These will be links to my testimonials. The best place to look at is on my website. If you just go to dylanlange.com, I have a tab that is testimonials that has the links to all of my online reviews. So if you click on this one, Zillow, it'll take you to my Zillow page, which I have over 150 online reviews. It'll tell you if I closed the loan on time, what people thought of the interest rate, what type of loan it was, if they were a first-time home buyer, right? And then it'll explain what they thought of the process and my service, because that is super, super important to me. I want to make sure people have the best experience possible while securing financing for a home. So let's go back here. And then I've just given a few examples, but these will be hyperlinks. You can also just Google my name. I'm not hiding. I'm on Facebook, Zillow, Yelp, Google, all that good stuff. So, feel free to take a look at that. Qualifying. So this is always a big question that people have for me is, hey, what do I qualify for? What do you need for me to get pre-approved? Excuse me. So there's three main things, and I call it CIA: credit, income, assets. Those are the three things that we're going to look at. So credit, our minimum FICO score, which is going to be your Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. We'll use the middle score of those three to qualify you. Needs to be higher than 580. Okay, the range is 350 to 850. You need to be higher than 580. When we pull credit, there's also a system that I can use to do a soft pull on your credit so it doesn't ding your credit report. If you just have questions, hey, I might be around that 580 mark, I don't really want to ding my credit to lower it, I can do a soft pull on that. Or if you're like, hey, my credit's spotless, we can do that. But the problem is it just does Equifax. And remember, I use the middle of those three. It's just going to pull Equifax. So if those other two come in lower, that's going to reset all the pricing. Or if you have debt that's tied to the other two credit agencies, that could impact your pre-approval letter. So it's an option. I recommend getting the hard pull. It's good for 120 days. So if you know you're going to buy a house in the next 4 months, it's recommended you just do the hard pull, get it out of the way so there's no questions in the future. Income, we go off of gross monthly income. So it really is going to depend on how you're compensated. If you're a salaried employee with your employer, we just take the yearly gross salary and divide it by 12. And that's the income number that I use. Hourly, we're going to take the guaranteed hourly, multiply it by 2,080 hours, that's how many working hours in the year, and divide it by 12. That's if you're full time, 40 hours a week, uninterrupted. Commission, right? When you have a commission, like myself, I'm commissioned. We do not get paid until we take you all the way to the end, which, what does that mean for you? Is I'm not compensated till we get to the finish line, which means I want to take care of you, make sure that you are taken, care of, and we get to that finish line. You buy your dream home, because that is how I'm compensated. But commission-based employees, right? We have to take a 24-month average. So I couldn't buy a house when I started in this industry for 2 years because I had to average my income over 24 months. Self-employed, same thing. We need tax returns over the last 24 months. We go off of the net income. So you're going to have revenue minus expenses equals net income. We're going to go off of net income because that's your taxable income. Gross income for salary, hourly, commission, that gross income is your taxable income. That's what your taxes are based on off of. So we always go off of taxable income. A lot of self-employed people get mixed up with that and think that we're going to go off the revenue because that's gross receipts. That's not your taxable income, though. Retirement income, we can use retirement income, IRA, 401k, Social Security, pension income. If you make overtime, bonus, tips, or your part-time or variable income, we're going to average that over 24 months, and we're going to need typically a 12 to 24 month history of that income. Rental income we can also use if, let's say I own a home and I'm buying a new home and I'm departing my primary to buy a new primary. I can get a lease agreement on my departing residence, use 75% of that to offset the debt. So that can be used as income. So here's a debt to income ratio example. On most of our loans, we can go to 50%. Some of them are 41, some of them are 43, some of them are 45, some of them are 38. It kind of depends on the program. But let's just use 50% as an example. So if you make $80,000 a year, you divide that by 12, that's $6,666.66 a month. Let's say that you have debts, an auto loan, a $300 a month payment, student loan of $150, a credit card of $25. So your total debt obligation is $475. We only look at the monthly debts that are on a credit report. We don't care about the balance or what you owe. We care about the minimum monthly payment. So we take your gross income times 0.5 because that's 50% DTI. That's $3,333. That's your max debt that you can have. But you need to take away what you currently already have in debt, which is $475, which leaves you at $2,858 a month is your max monthly mortgage payment. To get what goes into that max monthly mortgage payment is purchase price, down payment, your credit score, what's the interest rate, what are the taxes, what are the insurance, is there mortgage insurance, are there HOA dues? There's a lot that goes into that max monthly mortgage payment. That's why it's hard when people come to me and say, hey, what's the price, my max purchase price? Well, I can give you the exact monthly payment, but every house has different property taxes. Some have HOA dues and some don't, right? Are you going to get it at listing price? You can get it above, below. Are you going to buy down the rate, right? So there's a lot of different variables that play into that, but I can certainly calculate what that max monthly mortgage payment can be, and then you can personally budget on that and make sure that works. Assets, so there are zero down programs for owner-occupied homes. Second homes require a 10% down minimum. Investment property, single family is 15% down. If you start doing multi-unit, 2 to 4 units, those down payments do change. Eligible sources for down payment, gift funds, retirement funds, investment accounts, equity on another home, and or bank accounts are all viable asset sources. Loan program. So we are just really the one-stop shop for home loans. We can do purchase, refinance, renovation, and new builds. We have, conforming and non-conforming, fixed and adjustable rates. We've got VA, FHA, USDA, and Section 184. That's a native loan. And then we've got first-time home buyer programs, state bond programs. We can do manufactured homes. The step-up bridge loan is really cool. We can do a bridge loan if you own a home and don't want to sell it. We can actually do bridge financing for that, so you can buy a new home without selling that one. It's a 4-month program. We've got a lock and shop where I can actually lock an interest rate on you as a buyer without a purchase and sale. Typically, we need a purchase and sale to actually lock in your interest rate. So you can lock it before you find a property. We've got a lock and list. If you're a seller, we can lock an interest rate on your listing so that if rates go up, a buyer can come in and secure that interest rate. Pretty cool. Security Plus, if you come to me for a pre-approval letter, I actually can send you through underwriting and give you a certificate that shows the seller that if your financing as a buyer falls through, we as Evergreen will pay that seller $5,000. That's how confident we are in that letter. Cash up, Evergreen will buy a home with cash, and then you'll come to us and refinance it as a buyer. So in a competitive market, that's a great tool to secure financing. Seller buy down is a great way to use seller credits where they'll prepay your mortgage payment to lower it for the first 1 to 3 years. Great program. Home Ready and Home Possible are great lower down programs through Fannie and Freddie. We've got jumbo and portfolio lending because we are an independent mortgage bank, so we do have portfolio lending. We can do investment property loans, residential custom construction, renovation loans, and lot loans. So like I said, the one-stop shop. All right, you come to me and say, I want to get pre-approved, Dylan. How does that work? 7 simple steps. Apply. You can do that online, on the phone, in person. Those are the 3 best ways to do it. Whatever works for you works for me. Once I get the application, I'll review it, and then I'll let you know what sort of credit, income, and asset documentation I need to finish my review. Then we will look at the suggested loan program and monthly figures and closing figures, the 2 most important numbers. What's your monthly payment? What's it going to cost you every month for the next 30 years if you live there? And what is your cash to close? What is it going to cost you to get in the home? Okay. After that, you're going to identify a home. I can calculate some numbers with you and you say, yep, this is the house. I want to make an offer on it. I'll prepare a pre-approval letter. Something different that I do is most lenders will just provide this very generic pre-approval letter, which I shot a video on this. You can look at my YouTube video. Sorry, an ambulance is just now going by. And so I'll shoot a video with the pre-approval letter. It's for the listing agent. And I hype up your pre-approval letter. Hey, I've looked at Mr. and Mrs. Smith's credit, income, and assets. They're very, very strong. Maybe you've done the Security Plus and we have that $5,000 certificate. That helps even more. I also go through my online reviews and why I'm a trusted lender in this community. It is a competitive advantage for you as a buyer to have me do those videos along with my pre-approval letter because it strengthens the uncertainty, right? It eliminates the uncertainty from that seller that I don't know what I'm doing as a lender or that your financing is up in the air. It's another step above and beyond the other offers. And so that's when I'll issue that pre-approval letter with a video. Very, very great competitive advantage for you as a buyer. So the home loan process. So it doesn't matter if you've bought 1 home, 20 homes. Most people don't actually know how the home loan process works from when we go from contract to close. Well, what's great, and you'll see in my online reviews, is every Tuesday and every Friday, I send an email with this breakdown right here that you see that explains where we're at and what's happening next. The 15 mortgage milestones from getting a purchase and sale to closing the loan are right here listed in order. So and every Tuesday and Friday, I'll fill in these dates as they happen. So maybe half of that won't be filled out on the first update, and then I'll fill it in as things happen, and I'll just reply to the same email thread. So once we get the purchase and sale, I'll send you the buyer disclosures, which is really all just the breakdown of the numbers that you can e-sign. We'll order your appraisal. That's going to look at 2 main things. Is what you're paying the value of the home, and are there any health and safety hazards on the property? Then my processor will review your credit, income, and assets and package that and send it to underwriting. The initial underwriting review will be complete, and they'll let us know if they need any other conditions, which I will then send to you. Once again, if you get that Security Plus program, we'll get through all these steps till right here, the underwriting conditions received from borrower, right? We'll get all the way through almost half of these before we even get a purchase and sale. That's why sellers love that program so much. Then we'll get the appraisal report back and all of your underwriting conditions back. And then we'll submit that for final loan approval. Final loan approval is a huge, almost final step, but it basically means, hey, I'm not going to need any more documentation. Your loan is approved and we're set to close. So we'll send you the closing disclosure, which is just more finalized numbers from that initial disclosure pack. We'll send the file to our Evergreen closing team. Loan docs will be sent to escrow, which is a third-party intermediary between myself as the lender, the seller, the buyer, and the agent, and you, I guess, as the buyer, which I already said that. And then that's where you'll actually sign your final loan documents at the escrow company. I go to every single loan closing. If I'm in town, if I'm there locally, I'm there to help you through the documents if you have any questions. If I can't be in there in person, we can, of course, review. Of course, the fire truck now needs to come after the ambulance. So the loan docs will be signed at escrow. I'll be there. If I'm not there locally, I can send you the documents ahead of time and we can review those on Zoom or on the phone. And then we'll fund your loan, which means we'll send our wire to escrow. Escrow will pay the seller, record the deed of trust in your name, and the house is yours. And the realtor will drop the keys off to you. Just a document checklist. Really, this is the rule of twos. We need, 2 pay stubs, 30 days of pay stubs, 2 bank statements, 2 years of W-2s, 2 years of tax returns. Documents depend on your file. So that's why I always want to review your application before I tell you what documents I need. This is a list of things that we may need. Okay. So this is not a one size fits all. My job is to review your application and let you know what sort of documents you need. So you can pause this video, review these, or you can get this in a PDF and see, or just let me know, right? The best way is to submit an application and I'll tell you what documents that we may need. Some do's and don'ts. These are big. I've had people quit jobs mid-transaction. I've had people buy boats, buy cars. Do not take out any large debt that's on credit. Do not co-sign on any large debt. Do not quit your job because we are using that income to qualify you. Basically, any changes to those 3, CIA, credit, income, assets, you need to let me know. Or even better, let me know before you make any decisions on that, right? Don't take any new debt. That's credit. Don't quit your job. Don't start a new job. Or let me know if you're going to start a new job so I can tell you if we can use that income. That's income. Assets. Don't spend all your money. Don't have large deposits in there that you can't source, that you hid cash under your pillow, right? So anything with credit, income, and assets, ask me. I'm on your team. That's the biggest thing. Call me with any questions. I am on your team. Post-closing, we hold most of our servicing. Our servicing team is down in Arizona. We're a regional independent mortgage bank. We don't keep any of the loans that we broker that are correspondent jumbo loans, any of the state bond loans. No one can keep those. You have to sell that servicing. So once again, it's going to depend on your loan program. And we will notify you if that loan gets sold, but we do service a majority of our loans. I also personally will check in with you a month after closing and annually. I want to see, hey, do you have any updates? Do you have any questions about your mortgage? Do you have any life updates, right? What do you need from me? What questions do you have about the market? I'll check in with you once a year and also a month after closing. Escrow, it's great when it can be held at one place. We have local offices here in Bellingham. That's where I'm based out of. But also, like I said, we're regional. We're all over the place. Evergreen Home Loans started in 1987. So we've been around for 35 years, have, I think, 690 employees, rather large regional independent mortgage bank. Payment options, if you click here, that's where you can register for an online account. If you just go to my website, which is evergreenhomeloans.com/Dylan Langei, which you can find here if you go to apply now, we'll take you to this website. If you just go to make a payment, it will be right here. This is where you can register. You would just do register your account, last name, social, property zip, and your email address. And that's how you can sign up for servicing online. And so that is the conclusion of the home loan guide. I hope that was helpful. Once again, reach out to me with any questions. This is just scratching the surface, but I'm here for you as a resource. I can't wait to help you either buy or sell or build real estate. I'm very, very passionate about it. And once again, let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much. Talk soon.